All right, guys and girls, the struggle is real. And by the struggle, I mean the struggle to figure out what the hell's wrong with this truck. How do I put it? Okay, so I was driving the other day, I hammered on it, pulled over, and it started making this horrible squealing sound. Couldn't tell if the entire motor was about to lock up, if one of the front accessories, one of the pulleys rather, was bearing was going bad in it. Just horrible noise. Scared the shit out of me. I'm still not happy about it, but I think I may have just found it, and it's gonna blow you away when you see what it is. All right, so first off, I've had the entire, well, I say the entire motor back apart. I pulled the valve covers, took all the rockers off, put everything back again, checked for any obstruction. Thought I saw some marring on the inside of the valve cover, because I noticed when I had the valve covers off, and this is after, mind you, you can see I've got one belt back on it, but I took both the belts off to make sure it wasn't the accessories. I was thinking maybe I had a cam bolt back out. I hit it with a temp gun right there, and there wasn't any hot spots on the actual timing cover, so I was like, well, maybe that's not it. Let's go ahead and go to the top end again, even though we've had it apart a dozen times at this point. So anyway, I get the valve cover off, use that valve cover that I made on the video that day, and start diagnosing stuff, and notice that, you know, even after it got back up to temperature, it wasn't making the horrible squeal anymore. So I was like, all right, well, that's got to be the valve cover. And I saw, like I said, on the inside of the valve cover, there was some marring that looked like it lined up with where the springs would possibly be rubbing up against it. And it may have happened at some point. I don't honestly see how. It looks like there's plenty of clearance, but I could be wrong. I'm not on the inside of the valve cover when I put them on, so I have no way of measuring that. I'm sure there is, but I have no way of doing it. So I'm at the point where, you know, I'm like, okay, it's got to be the valve cover. I'm gonna put the valve cover back on and see what's going on. You know, I'm gonna verify this by putting it on, having it squeal, taking it off, putting a different one on there, not having it squeal, and that's gonna be how I go about this. So I do that. I've got, when I do this work, I always take the PCV and hook it up to this hose and run it over the fender well so I don't hear that, you know, howling from the PCV. Not really a howling usually, but you know, a little foreshadowing there. Normally it's just a hiss, but I noticed it wasn't doing it when I put the valve cover back on, the one that was suspect, and I still had all this hooked up with the PCV running over the fender well. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna put this back together and, you know, drive it around and see if it starts squealing, because right now I think it's the valve cover and I'm not that worried about that. Pop that PCV and go inside to grab a granola bar because I'm starting to get hungry. Come back out and it's howling like hell again. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? I guess I'm about to pull this valve cover and put the other, you know, I've got one that's been cut and one that hasn't on the cheap valve cover, so I was gonna put the cheap one on there and drive around, see if it fixed the issue. I'm just gonna show y'all what actually is going on here, because I'll be damned, this is, I might need the key. Sorry, I've got different keys on different keychains. Let's see what we got here. And this only happened after it warmed up to full operating temperature. You hear that? Of course you hear that. Sounds like the motor's about to blow the fuck up. Watch this. It's like a damn blow-off valve. I'm guessing the squeal is coming from in the carburetor. At least I'm hoping that's what that is. That's a lot of pressure. Yep. So anyway, I'm gonna get that shut down, because I still, you know, I'm not 100% sure that it's actually the valve, but it does make that cute little noise after I shut it down, like it's slowly shutting the valve or something. But man, that is just the weirdest shit. So anyway, I'm gonna see if I can find a PCV valve around here somewhere. I'm pretty sure I've got one laying around, and see if that solves the issue. And if not, I'll get back with you and let you know what I determine. But I just wanted y'all to see that, because that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I'm not gonna act like I get it. I have no clue why, but hooked the PCV back in, blocked this off, noise went away. I'm happy with that. Means I get to drive my truck without hearing that screeching, and I'm not like freaking out anymore about, you know, I didn't put something together right and now it's squealing or all that, you know, self-conscious stuff.